Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry. I am terribly late. Sort of. I did change the schedule. So hear me out. Let me explain. I am losing a lot of blood this week, and I probably could have used another week off. But you know what? I didn't want to be in my own brain anymore. So I am just in time. Thank you so much. Hi Kepler. Hi Evan. Yeah, no, I'm gonna. It's this week. I'm gonna start a little bit later. I just slept. All I did was sleep yesterday. Oh, I look horrendous. I didn't. I forgot. I forgot. Don't look at me. Uh, I went to sleep after stream yesterday. I woke up. I had a bit of food. Missed the bigger chunk of Elbat's stream. And then I went back to bed. I woke up an hour before my alarm went off this morning. I thought, I'm not going to make it through the day if I stay awake right now, so let me just go back to sleep. And I woke up at 11! So I slept at least 16 hours, and I'm still exhausted. But like I said, I'm losing a lot of blood. It's the freaking endo, man, and I should really start listening to that better before I stop functioning in its totality, and I really don't want that. So I was already going to do a little bit shorter streams, but now we do align a little bit better with the end time of stream. So instead of noon, I'm starting a little bit later after most people have had their lunch, depending on where you are and what your time zone is. Because also, do I see a blue lavender? Do I see a blue lavender? Hi, how are you doing? Long time no see. Jeez. I'm shooketh. How are you doing? Um, what was I gonna say? I'm just very tired. Not mentally, but my body. My body, as usual, it's my body. I was also a little bit not prepared for the intensity of this. Oh, this book is killing me. I need to finish this. Do you remember? Do you remember in the beginning? I thought 9 days, 50 pages a day. I didn't even. I don't even know how many pages I read yesterday. No 50 pages. I can sure. I can promise you that. 25. Well done. I did a little bit. I no. I cannot bear this. I will do something about my face a little bit. Oh no! Hello, Around. Thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. And if not, don't worry. It's fine. Mine is meh as well. But you know what? If you were always happy, would you be happy? Would you actually be happy if you were only happy? I don't think so. No, Kevlar, you look great. Everyone is looking amazing. I feel very icky. I'm just, my body is sick at the moment, and I could probably use a shower, which is really stupid because I washed my hair 2 days ago, and I really I don't want to wash it again, but I don't know. Yeah, I really needed the rest, and you know what? Um, I mean, this is it's just a hectic time. I'm still, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, both good and bad, by the way, not just bad. It's not all sad, but having CPTSD is just means that good things can be extremely stressful as well, just as much as a bad thing actually, because I just am so not used to having good things happen. It's actually terrifying if something goes my way, and with everything that's going on. I really don't want to get into it. If you know, you know, and if you don't, it really doesn't matter. What you need to know is that there's a lot going on, and I'm just tired in general, and that has an effect on something like chronic illness. If you have your chronic illness, you get stressed, whether it's because of a good or a bad thing. Stress is stress. It just gets worse. So the endo is a little bit worse than usual. Um, Luckily, I am not doing anything intense. The sad thing is I have not been able to do anything outside of stream so far this week which is sad because I was excited to work on the video for YouTube. It's already filmed and it's organized. I just have to actually edit it. But also, if you have been sending me messages, I have not been able to answer them. I'm so sorry. I do see you. I see you. But I need to sleep a little bit more. So I have decided that for Thursday I'm gonna take a day off, and because I'm not kidding. I don't want to gross you out, but if you know what a cup is, like a measurement cup, I have been losing that for the last 4 days every day. That's a lot. That's so much blood. Um, so I might actually also take Friday off and come back on Saturday just for this week, and then we'll do just another week of Nathan. Yes, I'm really happy about that. More Nathan. But I really don't want to do that for next week. Next week I hope to just have every day of the week able to stream outside of the one day. But I have to make sure that I don't shut down again. It was really scary. Let me tell you, that was really scary. To go non-verbal and be in so much pain I don't recommend doing that if you don't have a person in your direct environment who, one, understands what's going on, and two, is able to stay with you. I don't have either of those things. So I would rather prevent going nonverbal for multiple days in the future, especially during an endometriosis episode. That was really wild. But you know, I even though this kind of started out of desperation and panic because I still don't want to be in my actual real life, not because of my body, but because of, behind the scene things that are quite upsetting. I am surprised at how much I actually have been enjoying being here every day. There is something calming about knowing that there's a chunk of the day where I know what I'm going to be focusing on, and I have sort of the permission to be selfish in that. I still struggle a lot with actually doing the things that I need to do for myself without feeling a lot of guilt. And it's a process. It's going to be a long time before that actually is fixed. And there's a lot that comes that is involved with it. Having something traumatic happen to you, and judgment passed on it, and a whole town judging you for it is really not very helpful. So yeah, it's just been a lot. And maybe all of this is a good thing. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. It's just very stressful, and I hate disappointing you. I hate having to change things around and not be as predictable as I and my nervous system would like to be. But maybe all this is also teaching me to take better care of myself, because the endometriosis is not going to go away, regardless of where I live or what the court case is gonna have as a result. I'm still going to be chronically ill, and maybe this is showing me, maybe in the weeks that I'm bleeding, I should just actually take a step back, not stop streaming, but just cut an hour or two off so I can still do what I want to do, but also sleep 16 hours if I need to. Because I'm still exhausted. I swear, if I go lie down now, I would be out like a light immediately. Even with the coffee that I've been consuming. I've already had a liter, and this is the second liter. It's ridiculous. Millie, send help. How are you doing today? I'm sorry for the rambling, but I did want to explain a little bit what's going on and what's been going on in my brain this morning. Your preparation for exam things, trying to stress out. What are you becoming a doctor? Were you becoming a doctor? Because I feel like you have been doing so much schooling. Oh no. Hi Lulu. To put pressure on yourself, please. You'll have understanding that some things real struggle more than we are. Humans are simply not meant to be predictable. Thank you, Blue. But don't make me cry. I know it's just stupid because I am excited about this. As upsetting as some things are about this, I like being here. I like being here for you. I like having a place to be myself, and I know how important or how upsetting it can be when you are expecting a streamer to be there to keep you company and that person is suddenly unavailable. I know that can be quite upsetting and even dysregulating, you know. So I don't like doing that. I know that most of you don't understand, and if you don't understand, then I physically do not have the energy to help you with that. So I'm sorry, but still, I want you to know that I'm not doing it without consideration, right? It's 29 degrees here. I'm not a fan. You are not a fan? Do you have a fan, though? I'm sorry, Kevlar. I'm sorry. And it's also hot in here. Are you able to put your feet in a bucket of cold water or have like something in your neck, a cold cloth or something that might help? Otherwise, please know that you are... Toulouse, do not do that. I know. See, I didn't get a chance to vacuum last night, and I'm sure she ate something from the floor again, and now she's being sickly. No good. I'm not kidding. Stream ended. I went to bed. I didn't even give them their 5 o'clock dinner. I only gave them dinner at night when I woke up again. Winston was very angry about that, but also very cute because he squeaks. He doesn't meow. He just me. And Toulouse probably ate something so she could puke in revenge, but also she gets sickly. So that's great. So I do need to do that. Which is why it would probably be better if I feel a bit weak during the week. To instead of cutting the stream short to start it later, because then it won't be as tempting to just sleep immediately after stream. If I quit around 4, I'm able to hang on for a little bit longer, feed the cats so they don't get disrupted, and then I can go to sleep. It's also new, right? The experimentation with the biphasic sleep is also quite recent still, and I'm still working it out, and there's a lot of variables that I need to try to juggle. So thank you for being here. Thank you for bearing with me and having so much patience. And I really, really, truly hope that you at least try to be as patient and as caring and as loving as you are with me. Can you do that for me? Danny, thank you so much for the resub. I love that. I love that little emote. Has it really been 3 months? Why are you still at tier 2? What did I tell you? Are you doing okay? You're down. Hi, Jason. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for the hug, Millie. Day off. How dare I, Kevlar? Hi, Tadeo. How are you doing? The thing is, I mean it. I wish I could be a daily streamer. I would never be able to do 6+ hour streams every day, but I really wish I could at least be here for a few hours a day, because it's surprisingly regulating, as upsetting as it can be. It makes no sense. It's a paradox. I'll work on my explanation. You know what we're doing, Blue? I'll Blue Lavender. I'll say Blue Lavender because I do say blue to Blue as well. He about to force me to a nap. You please go nap. There's no discussion here, Lulu. Go nap. 11 hours a night, like a week of sleeping, only 6 to 7 hours a night. Oh, that's not enough. And also, I feel like it's in the summer, when it's this hot, everyone probably needs a little bit more sleep when it's this hot. Garfield! Hello, sleep and drooling streaming coming. I could never. You were in 9th grade when we first started talking. Now I'm 4th semester of uni. I knew you had to be somewhere in uni. I was studying economical computer science. I didn't think of studying medicine back then. Right, okay. You decided not to. I mean, that is a lot. That is a lot. And maybe not as um, rewarding as it should be for many reasons. I'm glad to see you. Jeez. It's always fun to see people from way back pop in. I'm always happy to see you come back in. Oh, Blue Lavender! No, please don't feel bad. Please don't never feel bad. There is always room on my plate for whatever it is that you need to get off your chest. I hope you know that. Hello, Camus. How are you doing? Is it okay if I call you Camus? Just touched on text. I totally forgot your cat's name was Toulouse, and one of my boyfriend's name's cat is named Toulouse, and I always thought that I heard a cat named that in the past, and I just realized it was mine. Yes, it's my baby girl. My baby girl Toulouse, who we found out is probably autistic, well, or brain damage, which I really don't mean that in a mean way. I'm autistic, remember? But I found another cat on Instagram called Puddles, and that cat doesn't blink, and because of that cat, I realized that Toulouse doesn't blink, and we have a new baby bean called Winston. He'll probably show his face in a little bit. And he is normal, and he does know cat body language. No, you won't. God dang it, Danny. You won't be patient. Oh, okay. If you forgot about the tier 2. Tier down! It's too much. Please take care of yourself. How was your first day back at work, Danny? I don't believe it either. 2020 messed up my complete biological clock, not as in the uterus, but in where am I? What is this? 2018? Because I don't believe the last 6 years. Regularity helps me when trying to learn to cope, but it's often not possible, and health is always a big factor. Hi, Brashoy. Yeah, and it's so annoying when your mind wants to do a lot of things that you used to be able to do. Even worse, when you used to have a body that was at least functional, and you just lose a little bit of your ability every year. If I look back even 3 years, I was able to do so much more than I'm able to do now. It's really upsetting and frustrating. So now I just need to learn how to work with that, but because it's a progressive thing, the endometriosis. As long as they keep threatening me with either taking out the whole uterus or being a guinea pig because they refuse to give me the laparoscopy, it's going to be progressive because I refuse to be a guinea pig, and I would like to keep my uterus. What do you mean that the middle way is not available to me unless I first offer myself up as a voluntary guinea pig? No. That means that it's going to get worse and worse until they give me the laparoscopy, or I decide to just get the uterus out of there in its entirety, but that doesn't mean it will be fixed. So that's really the trouble, I guess, that I don't have someone to observe me with an objective eye to tell me, hey, listen, you're doing great, but also your chronic illness has gotten worse, so maybe we should adjust here or there. And that's a process, especially when you're stubborn and you're quite ambitious, not money-wise, but just project-wise, and there's things I want to do. And goals I want to reach. For me, just for me, there's no one that is pressuring me. There's no one who's yelling at me if I don't reach it, aside from me, myself, and I. I'm the only one who is angry at myself that I only now realized. The stupid thing about the 4 commitments, right? I made a video about this, that there's 4 huge books that have been on my TBR for a long time. I actually have physical copies of 4 of these 4 books, and one of them is the Count of Monte Cristo. And in all the madness of this year, I completely forgot that I don't intend to vlog myself reading those books. So I could have started them at any time of the year. But I forgot that I wasn't going to film myself. So every time I thought of the 4 commitments, I thought, oh, right, I don't want to film myself right now because I've been crying or I've been paid, blah, whatever it is. I don't want to do that right now. So I kept pushing it until the light bulb went off, and I was like, oh, right, I never intended to vlog myself with that. That's way too much. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make a video about whatever. What the hell? So I finally started it. So far I really like it, especially if you're a guy. I think this is why I hear a lot of men talking about the Kanamana Crusoe. Not only, but a lot of men seem to be really into the Kanamana Crusoe, and I really get it because it's written like an action movie. It reads like an action movie. You as the reader know exactly what is going on, and I keep thinking I'm not that far in the book. I don't know, like the first 100 pages, but the movie I keep thinking of that would be comparable when it comes to humor and how characters are portrayed is the Pirates of the Caribbean. That kind of visuals is what I get from the kind of Monte Cristo. So far, I think if you are up for a little bit of a challenge, don't put any deadlines on it like I did arbitrarily. But read the kind of Monte Cristo. I think it could be a lot of fun if you do it with me. I'm not that far in. You could catch up. I believe in you. Hi, Rain. Wishing you the best with all of that. Thank you so much. It's gonna be fine. I'm just stubborn, and sometimes I don't listen to myself. And now I know that I'm able to go nonverbal for multiple days. Don't like it? I will change. He might just show his butt. He might. He might. I'm not sure where he is at the moment. He didn't want his dinner. It was too hot by the time I gave them their dinner last night. That was sad. But yes, okay. So what are we doing? What did I read? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Millie. I cannot say for sure, but I will catch up on every message that has been sent. I do promise that. But I'm not sure what I did and didn't read when it comes to private messages at the moment. I'm so sorry. I want to go to the gym as well. No, I'm not going outside anymore. I do feel that it's probably not very good for my body. I'm trying to keep some of my stamina up by jumping rope. Has anyone any experience with keeping your body a little bit fit with jumping rope? I do yoga as much as I can, but again, I am just, my body has been very tired in the last few months. I feel like I have to forgive myself for this year. I'm not writing it off, naturally. I have a lot of things to do. But I think mentally and physically, I think that this is what has been going through my mind when I went nonverbal. I think maybe I have to accept for this year that I should take the whimsy of it all very seriously. That is really all I can do this year because of unexpected circumstances, things that were out of my control. And maybe it was some kind of foreshadowing that I knew that I just need whimsy. No flower crown today, though. I need to fix my hair anyway. You wrote the first page of your story, Millie! Oh my god, but it's the first draft. You never know. You never know what's going to happen in draft number 13. Arrive at home can be really good. Yeah, I've been doing yoga for over a decade, and but it's been harder lately because I'm losing so much blood the last few months. This month is actually insane. This is actually upsetting, but it's been like this for a few months, and even the yoga is making me feel very dizzy and lightheaded. I should probably eat a little bit more spinach than I do. I used to read a lot of novels of that kind as a teenager, kind of Monte Cristo, if it's the original book. If you read it as a kid, it's possible you read an abridged version, and that there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But I promise you, if you pick it up again, I'm sure that when now you're older, you'll realize that there's a lot between the lines that you would never pick up as a kid. Never. Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. I really like how unconventional it is. It's my first fantasy book, so I don't know much about the genre. That's the best, Camus. If you start reading a new genre, because you don't know yet. The more you read, the less surprised you will be, and the harder it will be to find something that feels authentic and new. So that's great. Wait, a Daughter of No Worlds. Let me see real quick. So at the moment, I'm going to say this for anyone who has recently come in, who is new, or oh, that one is on my TBR, Daughter of No World. I think it's a book club book, which is currently closed. It's a long story, but currently the book club is closed. Let me see. I think it's a book club book in that case, though. Oh no! I tried to listen to it, and it wasn't my cup of tea as an audiobook. It doesn't mean that I don't like the book. It just means that that medium wasn't for me in that type of story. Blue, hi Blue. How are you doing? Hi Val. What? Who gets a husband who writes a book about me? Please don't. I don't want to be a muse. That feels like a lot of pressure. That sounds like a lot of pressure, but sure. I'll do the writing. I would like to have a muse. Are you offering? I'm going to explain what's going to happen in about 15 minutes because we're currently in a bit of a community event. What does that mean? Normally, during the week, we do actual, or at least attempt to try to actually do something productive, which is keeping yourself alive, full-time job, not the easiest thing for everyone. Some people are chronically ill, like me. But that also means your job, maybe a hobby, maybe just some self-care that you need to do. And this is the place to do it. And normally during the power hour or the focus sprint, I mute myself and I focus on my task and thereby hopefully inspire you to focus on something as well. And again, that can be anything. I'm not telling you what to do. I would love it if you joined me with a book, especially on Tuesdays when we will be moving to the reading and writing corner of Twitch. But because I have never truly felt like I deserved the attention of a community event because it kind of puts me in the spotlight, right? Even though I'm celebrating you and especially the people who have been so patient and loving when I didn't feel like I deserved it. I'm not saying I didn't deserve it, but I didn't feel like I did. And for that reason, I will not be muting myself. Now, this started as a funny hee hee ha ha shits and giggles read because I was told by the entire internet that the marketing of this book, meaning the cover art, should have been a little bit more explicit. In other words, it should have been more clear that this has explicit content in it because it was bought by people, parents, for their children and had no idea that there's a lot of very bad things going on in here. Unfortunately, it's not the smut. Yes, very problematic, especially the Uber scene. Very angry about that. But what is worse is the gaslighting, the covert abuse, everyone stepping over the boundaries of this girl, and the disregard of the fact that she has been training her entire life to go to the Olympics. He doesn't care at all. So it has become a study on pop culture and especially what is popular in the book talk world, and I have plans for this. I am doing some research because I think this is very dangerous, and it's fascinating that this became popular because there really isn't that much smut in here. What is really happening is a toxic relationship, and not just the romantic relationship. The friendships are bad. There's really everyone is toxic, and she's being made to look like the bad guy, even though she just wants boundaries. She just wants to work on her future. That is all. So, because of that, because this has been marketed and talked about as a smutty book, I want to prevent uncomfortable messages being sent by people who are new. So if you just came in, I am so sorry, but once we start with the first focus sprint, I will put you in a temporary forced lurk for an hour. I know that's a long time, but you would be surprised at how patient some people can be when they are adamant to hurt your feelings as a streamer. So I'm going to put a shield up for an hour, and after that hour, you're so welcome to rejoin the conversation. But this is just to protect me. It's to protect you. I don't want people to come in with bad intentions, or who simply don't understand what we're doing. I don't want to take away from that because I do take this quite seriously, even though it was supposed to be funny. Um, it is, but not in the way that I intended it to. So that's what's going to happen in a little bit. And normally I mute myself so you don't hear me go mad. Because there have been moments in this book where I genuinely thought I am going to lose my freaking shit. And this happens with other books as well. But in the vein of the readathon, which is how I have dubbed this community event, which I hope will be. Bye, Millie. Be careful. Sunscreen and drink water. I hope this will be an annual event. And next year I'll do a little bit more research on the book because I want it to be funny. This is way too intense. But, you know, you live and you learn. Okay, good. Okay, good, Millie. Bye. Hi, Storm. How are you today? I've watched Slapshot. Hockey movies are insane. I know they're quite violent. And I have been told that I am not allowed to give Nathan, this guy, that excuse. I am not allowed to say that it's concussions that make him and all his friends behave the way he does, which I tried. I tried to do, and you know what? It's fair. It's fair. That's no excuse for what he is doing. He is actually evil. But we're learning. We're learning so much. Not just about ourselves, but also this is what is put out in the world and how people are now expecting love to be. You know what? Actually, I need to reread The Notebook because I saw a mini essay on The Notebook, and oh no, oh no, that might not have been as romantic as I thought it was. And that explains everything. That The Notebook would be kind of what this is to the people of this era. You know what I mean? Let's Scooby-Doo it more explicit. Wait, this? Well, the thing is, the thing that is bothering me and that I want to talk about once I have read all the books that I need to include in the video that I have in mind is that this is being treated as erotica. Smut books in the media and by people who are uninformed are treating women who read books that include smut as if they are reading erotica, which is actual porn. Erotica books are porn, except it's in written form. And not to be a party pooper, but if you actually want to stimulate your brain, reading porn is a little bit more effective than watching for a lot of reasons that I really don't want to get into. But an important one is you are not influencing you're not brainwashing yourself to think that certain visual elements should be present when you get excited about having sex. If you read, you get to imagine yourself, and you're less likely to get toxic ideas about what romance should be. But that's a whole other story. I have compassion for the poor colleague that did the cover. Maybe tried to sugarcoat it or just illustrate it, show simply not too explicit, but totally agree with you. Well, Brashid, I think a lot of things, but it seems to me, knowing a little bit about marketing, knowing a little bit about publishing, and knowing a little bit about psychology, to a little bit of each. I'm not a professional on anything at all, aside from my own life, and not exactly doing great with that either. But it's probably all a stunt for publicity. It's probably all been a stunt for publicity. And one of the reasons I think that is because it does hold a 18 plus content not suitable for young readers on the least likely place that consumers will look, which is not something I have seen on other books. I should actually check Haunting Adeline for that. But I know for a fact, and I'm so sorry I keep pulling this book up, but it's literally because it's here. This it has the same kind of vibe. It's also cute. Also doesn't give away that this holds explicit scenes. Let me tell you, I was shook. I skipped at least 100 pages in total because I could not deal. I could not deal with what was happening in this freaking book. I was not prepared. I don't agree, but you. What is your Can you elaborate, Fowl? I'm interested. How old is Toulouse? Toulouse turned 10 this year. This does not hold any warning on the cover, at least. I haven't actually checked on the inside, but on the least likely places, they put a warning that this has, that, and also on the very first page inside, no one looks here. Only weird people like me will actually look there. And even I didn't actually register what was happening. Because I thought it was just a trigger warning list. But those are usually put a little bit further into the book, right? If it contains sensitive subjects that some people might want to avoid. Not hidden away. So I really feel like everything about this book has been marketing from beginning to end. And I do feel bad for the person, Lainey Kaufman, who made the cover, because the cover is cute and the cover is nice. It just shouldn't have been put on this book, or they should have taken out. No, actually, because the problematic thing isn't even the explicit scenes. The problematic thing about this entire book is the abuse, the literal psychological abuse that this girl experiences from literally everyone in her life. Everyone. Her best friend forces her to go to a party she doesn't want to go to and has said she doesn't want to go to because she wants to avoid this man who has been stalking her. She doesn't want to see him, but because her best friend wants to get laid, she forces her to go to the party anyway. And what do you know? He corners her there. Physically. He physically corners her when she tries to leave the room. That is how they start their supposed romance. So it's just no good. That's why I have to read this book. I have to finish it because I need to confirm or dismantle an opinion that I now have about this and the entire genre. You're about to get my grub on with lunch. What are you eating? Oh, Blue! I was a little bit confused. Are we having a Scooby Snacks? I would like a Scooby Snack, if it's vegetarian at least. It's okay, I'm insane. We're all a little bit insane, Farrell, but self-awareness is a lot better than pretending to be sane and not being sane. So as long as you're aware and not hurting yourself or anyone, that's fine. You're very much welcome to your own opinion, as long as you don't put other people under pressure to have the same opinions, right? To become a muse is easy, I suppose, but to keep that title is where the stress comes in. Exactly, Brushoy. I don't want to. It's okay. I don't mind being nobody. I don't even like my birthday. I have hidden my birthday for the bigger part of my life. I would keep it hidden and secret until people realize, hey, we've known you for a few years now. Why don't you ever have a birthday? And usually I do tell when people actually confront me with it, but I try to not even let people know when my birthday is, because I genuinely don't like that kind of attention. Less imagination is best for porn and romance. I mean, you said that, but how? Birthdays are overrated. They can be fun. They can be fun when it's not your own. Or you have a good functioning household that doesn't destroy your home and or fixes it back up once the party is over. You know what I mean? It's the same event year after year. Why? Well, it's. I think we could celebrate life in general more. I feel like if it was more of a, and that could be a little bit more harmful for people without parents, like me, blood parents, But I think maybe it should be a celebration of the family and not just of that person. Yes, celebrate the person being alive and you survived another year, which is getting increasingly harder in the world that we have created. Well, that our forefathers have created and that we have to deal with now. But still, I feel like it can be fun. It's just I have some trauma attached to it as well. We moved to the city when I was a young teen, and then I lost family and friends in one go, and was in the same breath introduced to domestic violence, and the bullying in school got 10 times worse because I already had trouble connecting to the people that I grew up with when my autism became more and more apparent. Because it gets harder to be normal if you don't know what that you're not normal. From that moment on, I just associated my birthday with being lonely and having no friends or family. Instead, I had to make sure that my family stayed alive because otherwise, domestic violence. So there's a lot that comes with it, but I do believe that maybe birthdays should also include the father and mother. I think that would be more fair. I don't know. That's such an interesting opinion or point of view, Val. I'm fascinated. And I think I get where you're coming from. But where would we be as a species without our imagination? Isn't imagination also where hope starts? And where would we be without hope? Yeah, I felt my birthday to be a burden too. I don't get it. Yeah, that as well. Like you're being such a nuisance, and that's not the case at all. If you grow up in a loving, caring, semi-functional, if not just functional family, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have some trauma attached to it as well, and the pressure to celebrate it is really interesting. I'm happy to know there are other people than me who dislike celebrating the birthday. Oh, you're not the only one, Camus. I promise you. But you know what? I am working on it. I do want to try to be a little less upset about it all because that is sad. It's a bit sad. We should be allowed to celebrate ourselves, but maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't do that just the one day. Just like we shouldn't have just one day to celebrate love, Valentine's Day, for a multitude of reasons as well. But mostly because we should love every day. And you know what? I kind of want to have a conversation. I'm going to put up the shield, by the way. I'm so sorry. It's an hour. So if you followed a little bit earlier, that time does count as well. But, I have to protect everyone. And I'm going to be reading anyway. We're going into our focus sprint, during which I will be reading. I'm going to move ourselves to over here. So I invite you to pick up a book as well. Now, you don't have to, right? You can do whatever it is that you want. The practice of focus, taking back ownership of your time, means that you can do whatever you want to do. I have no right to tell you what to do. It's just that I enjoy practicing regaining control over my focus and practicing the duration of my focus with a book. So let's get to it. Let me know what you're up to. I'm sorry if you're in a temporary forced lurk, but just so you know, I don't want you to be outside of our conversation. It's just community event. I need to protect myself in community, and I hope to see you once this hour is over. Keeping myself alive for a year does not feel like an accomplishment. Danny, can you share your secret? Because I feel like there are people in here who would like to know how to do that. All right, I'm going to keep going with Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I will not be muting myself for the duration of our readathon, so I will be putting down my mic. You will find out why once we hit the Nathan of it all. Good luck. How do you not feel like it's an accomplishment that you survived another year? Every year, I'm so surprised that I made it. I kept myself alive. Another year? Hi, Riku. God. I say this with all the love. I really don't say this with any malicious intent. But to be a man, to be a man, that must be amazing. That's great, for sure. And this is what I want to try to do as well. I mean, I have been trying to do this as well. To romanticize every day, and to make every day a little bit special. Oh my God, Danny. Keep it simple. I have a uterus that is actively fighting me. And I have painkillers, but they don't do shit. Not really. I wish they did more, but I'm not allowed to get stronger painkillers. And I also don't think I would sit here if I had. I would probably just, be high all day for 2 weeks of the month. Oh, to be a man. It's a thing, right? Penis envy? Have you heard about this? I do suffer from penis envy every once in a while. That's why I'm saying, and I genuinely mean it. I'm not saying this with any actual envy towards any person, but sometimes I wonder what a life to be a man. Okay, I just want to make sure that I don't offend anyone, because that's not what I mean. And I also don't mean to make you feel guilty. It's just nice to think every once in a while. What if I could be standing up wherever I was, regardless of whether there are people around? Just whip it out and start peeing. Huh? Krish! I'm so sorry. We are doing the readathon, okay? I'm so sorry, but we are dealing with Nathan, so I apologize that you had to hear that word from me, but you should have known. By now. The only difference is we took it. Oh wait, I could just let it go, but I didn't watch the movie, so I'm not sure how that works. Don't you laugh, Riku. It's the anatomical correct way to say it, okay? I'm pretty sure a lot of you have one, so don't be shocked. And yes, I sometimes have penis envy. This is a thing. Look it up. Be careful, though. Be careful. Don't just willy-nilly. So, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of... Yeah, I don't know. My mind, I swear. A lot of women that you have met and know, I'm pretty sure, have at some point in their lives had penis envy. I can promise you. Nelly? I don't want to know names. Hold on. No. I don't want to know names. I know this is a thing. I found out in my 20s. Mind you, in my 20s. There's so many things I didn't know. I was so innocent, okay? Before I started streaming. So innocent. Google is dangerous. I went to the stream at one of those times, haven't I? I'm not sure how we got here. I'm not sure. I did it. It's my fault. I'm sorry. The randomly pitching a tent. Your sister told you? See? Achievement unlocked. Let's blame Nathan. It's Nathan. I mean, he is being a dick. Your morning glory. Nah, if that's the downsides, I could live with that. I could live with that. There's ways around. But bleeding every month is just annoying. I mean, you just have to pretend that it's not happening. You too, actually. Hi, Itherag. I'm not! I was innocent. I was innocent. And then I decided to start streaming. And everything was downhill from there. Well, not worse, just different. Just different. And I don't think that men are as jealous of the experience of being a woman as women sometimes are of the experience of being a man. I feel like none of us have it easy. Well, actually, now I think about it, maybe men do think about it because I do remember a lot of guys saying they would, you know, boobs. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. Okay. Send him to contacts chat. Just reads like the minutes from a Quentin Tarantino script priority meeting. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's about penis envy, I think. I'm not sure. The 3 stream streak, Krish. If you have lost your streak and are worried about losing your streak, I think it's because Twitch and desktop and app on phone are not talking to each other, which is not a surprise to me. I lost a few streaks when I was nonverbal, which was... I literally don't have words because I was nonverbal. I could not even express my frustration when I found out because I looked at the streams on my phone, not on my computer. So if that is something that has been happening to you, make sure that you watch on desktop for at least a few minutes. There you go. Just eat more and you'll get boobs as a man. You see, that is also not fair because if I eat more, I just get a big ass. No boobage. Nah. It's the last thing that will grow when you're a woman. You'll get ass and thighs. They'll get thick, sure, but boobs, no. If they grow at all when you gain weight, losing weight, the first thing that goes, boobs. Why? Why? How is this fair? How is any of this fair? I need to read a few pages. I'm not making any progress. Burger boobs. Burger boobs. I cannot. Maybe that's the... You know what? Remember, I'm autistic. And people used to tell, I'm pretty sure people have heard this before, that they tell young girls as a joke, that if you blow on your hand, so like this, your boobs will blow up. You know how many hours I spent doing that? Didn't work. But I have to admit that I am happy that I don't have a big boobage at the moment. The older I get, the more I realize, you know what, this is a lot better for my actual body because they're heavy. And I don't think I would enjoy that at all. Woman's advantage, you don't get a belly as easy for overeating. No, I just have a uterus that swells up for no good reason. You don't get a belly as easily for overeating? But you get boobs just from eating. I don't get boobs if I eat a burger. I just get ass. And I have enough ass. I can promise you I have enough of that. I don't need more. It's fine. It depends. It depends. Danny's pleading the fifth. Nah. was a teen and in my 20s, I was so insecure about all of this because you get bullied on all sides, right? But then you realize that even as a woman, your physical body is part of fashion, and once that clicks, and once you get to the point where you are comfortable enough to admit to yourself that maybe you don't want those bodies. For example, I love to run. Having double D and wanting to run a 5K is not a comfortable experience. You know what I mean? At some point, you realize that whatever body you have is good enough. Okay? As long as you don't abuse it, as long as you are able to come to terms with whatever is wrong with it. For example, in my case, it's my endometriosis. Not there yet, but your body is holy. And even if it's not perfect, if it's flawed, if it's maybe even a bit broken, it's your body, and it's magic that you're alive and that you're here, right? Yeah, I agree, Blue. Big boobs are overrated. And then it was butts for a time, and the things that I got bullied for in high school were the things that were praised when I was in my early 20s, and it really is. You shouldn't listen to other people's opinions. You have to be happy with your body, and that is the most important thing. Health is a given here, okay? You should be healthy, and that doesn't always mean looking skinny. Health and weight, though they have correlation, there is not necessarily causation. Can be, but correlation is the word we're looking for here. So I hope we all know that, right? Wait, am I missing something, Daddy? What's that, Brashard? The fat you go to our belly, and no man I know wants burger boobs. But the thing is, women are so much more forgiving when it comes to the physique of a man. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like men can be a lot more cruel when judging a woman's body. And when you look at what women actually want, a bit of a belly, as long as you're healthy, right? As long as you're healthy, a bit of a belly is not something that women will immediately, most women, as long as they're not shallow, there's always an exception, I know. But your character and your ability to make a woman feel safe and happy and laugh and all those emotional things are a lot more important than your physique. Trust me. You could be the most unconventionally looking guy, but if your character and your heart are good, you could have any chick you want. I promise you. Big woman everyone needs love, and your health is what is important here. It has nothing to do with weight, okay? Running with double D's, oh, and at least 6 feet tall, good luck. I feel like you should get extra points. Double points. Brushoid, that girl was very insecure and didn't like you, probably, I don't know for sure, for who you were, but what you represented. If it was health concerns, I can understand, but in the beginning of a relationship, I have observed that most people gain weight at the beginning of a relationship because you're happy. You're probably snacking together a lot. You're going out for ice cream. You're going out for dinner. So at the beginning of a relationship, especially, you might gain a little bit of weight.
Also, when you're more comfortable further on in the relationship, it might be that you gain a little bit of weight. There's nothing wrong with that, but you need to communicate. You need to make sure that the reason they get upset about your gaining weight isn't, first off, something that they're projecting on you from their own fears, and second off, if they are upset about that because you are now influencing their um, uh, representation in the world, because then you should just leave. That's shallow, and they have some things to work on. Um, and I'm so sorry. Those people exist. Yes. Burger boobs should weigh less than a crowd pounder eats, or it becomes a case of bosom gluten. I'm pretty sure you can just, if you have proper burger boobs, you can just weigh them. Just put a scale on the table and just lay them on top. Let me eat a donut by straight hair. I was only 18 years old. I am so sorry, Brushoid. I'm happy that it seems that you are no longer with that person, and I hope they're doing okay, because it sounds like they were unhappy and probably struggling with some issues. ED issues themselves. Being young is hard. There's so many things we need to learn. Perhaps you know you appreciate yourself nowadays. Just that you are an ideal woman to some men. I mean, everyone is the ideal person for someone. Okay? But it really does start with accepting where you are. It doesn't mean that you have to be stagnant. I still work on myself. I really hope that I'll never stop doing yoga, for example, and I hope that I can start running again at some point in a safe environment. I hate to admit it, but I am looking into like a gym. I used to run outside, but I'm not doing that anymore. So that is something that you need to do. You need to take care of your physical body. You need to take care of your mind. But I am no longer, most of the time, I am no longer comparing myself to other people. I'm comparing myself to me. And I'm reminding myself of my goals. Like when I'm having a hard day with my hair turning gray early for some people, I remind myself that, for one, I hate the beauty centers. I hate the money that I have to spend on it. I hate when it starts growing out. There's so many downsides of having fashionable hair. But I have those days too, okay? It's not like it's perfect. We all have those days. It's okay. As long as you remember at the core who you are. If you have integrity, if you have morals, if you have integrity and ethics, if you are able to stay true to them, even and especially in the face of people you consider friends and loved ones, you don't have morals if there's exceptions. I'm so sorry, that's not a moral. Then you just have a preference. For the same reason, I hope to start a conversation about why unconditional love should not be a term. It should be love and conditional love, not love and unconditional love. Does that make sense? Because love should be unconditional, period. The unconditional should never have been added as a prefect. But that is a whole other day of conversation. Is your area not safe to run outside? No. I'm gonna a quick. I'm just gonna say one sentence that might be upsetting, but I was assaulted in the forest in March, and I have decided to no longer go outside because that was after a year of a lot of trouble. So I'm not going outside anymore. Exactly, wisdom. It should be unconditional. Everything else is Hollywood programming. And preference, it's just preference. I'm looking for a word that is a little bit more harsh. Because I feel like it's time that we start talking about what love actually means. gray hair in young women looks exotic and cool, and old one it tends to be aesthetic. In my perspective, I agree personally. Well, with the latter part, I'm not sure. I feel teased. I just wish it was entirely white. I long for the day that it's entirely white. But I'm not gonna dye it. I'm not gonna bleach and dye it. Bleach and tone. But I'm just gonna wait, right? Early places is boob onto the digital skill and confers a hard hitting action value of 0.33. Roadhouse. Oh my god, what's that? No. Well, technically, it's been a page. I'm yapping too much today. But this is important to talk about. I think these are interesting conversations, and with so many people struggling to find connection with people, I wonder how many of those people realize that while you don't need to be fixed, you don't need to be whole to be deserving of a loving and healthy relationship. I do believe that you have to start with a lot of self-awareness of where your flaws are for a healthy relationship to be possible. If you are unaware of your own flaws and your own problems, you're going to project them on the person you claim to love and damage them in the process. If you are not aware of where you should be working on yourself, you're going to project that on the person you claim to love, and in the process you're gonna hurt yourself. You know, it's dangerous. You shouldn't do that. You should be aware of your own flaws and your own problems, and also not expect the person you claim to love to fix it for you. You have to do that yourself. No one else can do that for you. Now, yes, they are probably should probably be able to help you, but that is not the same as they're doing the work. That is not the same as putting your baggage on their shoulders. But it's complicated, and I don't feel like we get a lot of help with this. In fact, I might argue that with stuff like this, something is actively making us hate each other. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, but to reiterate, you don't need to be fixed. You don't need to be whole. But if you are not aware of the fact that you are in need of some work, if you are not aware of where you are broken, you are going to hurt other people with it. But some people mistake having to work on yourself for not being worthy of love. That's not. You are always worthy of love. Always. Okay? Even if you're flawed, even if you've done stupid things. Now, we all know there is a limit here, and I don't have to say it, okay? I don't have to say what that limit is, but I'm assuming that we all agree that there is a limit. Yeah? But aside from that particular group of files, everyone deserves love. Everyone. Everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone deserves to be helped. Nathan, however, no, that's actually it's more complicated than that. I think Anastasia and Nathan are a prime example of why is it something? No, he's just a guy. What he is showing is what I have read so far. Really just ice hockey culture, but not even as bad as it is in real life. In real life, it's apparently a lot worse. Now, I don't know anything really about figure skating culture because there's a surprising lack of figure skating, as you might imagine, because Nathan doesn't care about the figure skating of it all, even though he's supposed to be training with her for the Olympics. Um, Sometimes people have mental illness, and that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be in a relationship, but that means that they need a certain type of character that is probably the opposite of that mental illness. Um, so they won't be affected by it. They don't just see through it, but they physically don't react to what the mental illness of the other person may be exhibiting. So a person who would be toxic for a fragile, quote unquote, fragile person in a relationship together could be perfectly functional in a relationship with someone who does know how to handle that. Just because you are dealing with something that may be toxic in one relationship doesn't have to be toxic all around. And sometimes people just enable each other, even if they don't mean to. Even if they love each other very much. Sometimes that means you need to stay away from each other because you're simply causing a reaction, a chemical reaction inside each other that is, at the end of the day, toxic. That is how I see people who are dealing with mental health issues, possible clinically established issues. I really don't like writing off anyone. I really feel like as long as we have understanding and love, we can make it work for everyone. But sometimes people just enable each other, and those people should be kept separate. Does it make any sense? I have no. Oh, let's. Okay, I do need to listen. I do need to finish this book at some point. Not just because I want to be done with Nathan, stupid Nathan, but also because I want to move forward in this project. Did that make any sense? Okay, we're taking a 10-minute break, and then we're going into a power hour, and we're gonna get going. I need to practice flow. I want to continue. I want to start haunting Adeline. Should I? No, not right now. Nathan is a douche, but also she lets him walk over her, and that is where what I mean. Like, she's surrounded by people who don't protect her, Anastasia, and he knows that he can just corner her. This is why when you're in a relationship, okay, when you're in a relationship with someone and you have a hard no, if you have a hard no on something, and your partner knows about this hard no and they do it anyway, leave. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I have to say that, but if they do that, if they are aware, and if it's a serious thing, say it's I don't know, using drugs, for example, right? If that is a hard no for you, for whatever reason, you don't even have to have a reason. If that is a boundary for you, that would be a no-no. If it was a new person, say you were in the dating phase and you learned that this person likes to party hard during the weekend, you would probably not get into a relationship with that person. It's a hard no. If you are in a relationship with someone and they start doing that, you should leave. And I know it's easier said than done, but the thing is, once a boundary has been broken, it has been moved. It doesn't exist anymore now. It has been moved. And if they are willing to move it once, they will do it again and again and again.
this is a hard lesson to learn, especially if you're not just loving someone, but in love with someone, which are two completely different things, by the way. And honestly, it's so stupid to me that we are considered adults from the moment we're 18 or 21, I guess, in the USA. Because I seriously wish that we could make a study of why Tolkien decided that hobbits don't become adults really until they're 30, because I feel it in my soul. I see it around me that people don't really start to get themselves together, like spiritually, emotionally, you know, until they hit their 30s, and even then, it's only the beginning, and we shouldn't be forced to be adults when we're in our 20s. We should be allowed to be messy and make mistakes and learn and hopefully not hurt other people, but you know, burn ourselves a little bit here and there, because that's honestly the best way to learn a lesson, to make a mess of it a little bit and understand, hey, I don't like this. I shouldn't do this anymore. The fact that we get, and especially in the Netherlands, you have to decide when you're 12 or something what you want to do with your life. That's insanity to me. What do you mean? We should be playing outside, but instead, when you're 12, you've already made the equivalent of how many years of a full-time job. Is weird. I really think that we don't start to become adults when we're 30. I truly feel that in my bones. And the thing is, Danny, I agree. Being an adult is a lie. It's a lie. The ironic part is becoming a proper, fully formed adult, in my opinion, involves understanding that the goal of being alive is to keep the child in yourself alive. To never stop looking for the rainbow, to always dance in the rain, to jump in puddles, and to pick flowers on your way to work just because. To me, that is the ultimate goal of growing older. Understanding that beyond adulting is being a child again. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I think that if you get stuck in the I'm an adult and I'm fully grown now and I decide what happens under this roof, you took the wrong turn. I'm so sorry, but you probably took a wrong turn, and you may want to kind of maybe look at what the kids around you are doing, because they hold a lot more intelligence than the adult that thinks they're done growing. There's no such thing. Maybe I'll start adult around my 90. No, when you're 90, listen, you get the elderly card. You get to play where am I? I fully plan on doing that. Why do you think I want to be grandma? I'm gonna be wild, and you have no idea. I'm gonna be the amnesia grandma. Like, I don't know, where am I? Baby Dorn Bastards! I have never seen it, but I have heard stories, and that is what I will be. Thank you for the gift sub, Danny, to Bersoy. Thank you so much. Don't forget to say thank you to Danny for the incredibly kind gift sub. Grandma includes having children. No, it doesn't. It's a vibe. No. How much time do I have? No. If you adopt a child, if I am physically unable to birth a child through my own vagina, and I decide to adopt one, am I not a mother? Am I not a mother if I decide to adopt a child and give it the maternal love that I hold in my heart? Does that not count? Well, that's the thing. If I decide that you, my cupcakes, are my grandchildren, I am grandma. you have no say in this. But I do feel I need to be a little bit more gray. This is not enough gray. I guess I'm auntie now. Because I refuse to be your mother. Nuh-uh. I'm not your mom, okay? Yes, Auntie Cherry. I prefer grandma. Hi, Skullja, how are you doing? Says But it makes sense though, right? No, grandma has a vibe. It's a vibe. Being grandma means that I give you the hard life lessons without the grounding, but without sending you to your room. I tell you to grab a cookie and have some ice cream for dinner instead. That's my job, right? I have decided. No, listen. The backstory, real quick. The backstory of me realizing that I want to be grandma. The 5 strand streak. I've never heard of this place. Skullja, you have found the right space, the right place, because everyone here is a little bit lost, and with that, we are all found. Anyway, there's a story behind this. Okay, I once met a woman, a lady, who had white hair, Killer Bob, actually, and I was with a friend. We were picking up a dog that she had adopted from. She had a rescue dog from somewhere, and it was a bit sketchy. We had to wait on a parking lot because the van with the dogs came straight from Ukraine or something, and they would literally have a drop off and continue to the next city to do another drop off. So we had to be there on that parking lot. But there were other people as well because there were multiple dogs being dropped off. And this lady comes up to me and she says, "Hello, I am grandma." And the whole world made sense in that moment. Like, that's what I want. I asked her, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm grandma. You can call me grandma." And it's like, that's it. That's it. That's what I want to do. I want to go out there in the world and say, "I am your grandma now. What do you need?" It was amazing. I remember her because she's grandma, you know? That's it. That's the backstory in short. Because we're going into the power hour. We're going to do something, okay? So, if you have just come in, thank you so much for the follows. Let me see who has come in. You know what? I'm going to do that after the power hour. We're going to do the power hour. I need to read a few pages, people. Just a few. Because I'm stuck in hell a little bit. All right. The goal of the power hour is to try and practice flow, but don't be mistaken. It's not the amount of minutes, hours that you are able to focus on this task that you have decided to pick up. The practice is actually starting the task, because you'll find that that is the hardest part. Once you start it, flow will come on its own. That's not something that you could necessarily force. You can train it, but you can't force it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start whatever it is that we're doing. I am reading something very interesting, very titillating, and I invite you to read a book as well, but you do whatever you need to do, boo. All right? Good luck. I will see you in an hour. I will probably yap a little bit more, but I will put down the mic so I don't accidentally deafen you when Nathan does something silly. All right. Hi, I'm Scat. I'll see you in a bit.
My friends used to call me grandma's nickname because I'd be the one to always make sure they eating and looking their best. Skullja, same, except mom. They called me mom, and that was no, I don't want to be mom. That sounds like a party pooper, but the same, Skullja. Like a mother hen trying to get all her chicks under her wings. Like, where are you going, everyone? Have you had water? Please. Speaking of which, let's take a sip. Scott, I feel so bad. I literally don't know jokes. I'm autistic. I don't know jokes. Okay, can we do this? I'm on page 300 and 4. I didn't finish the page. Do you have a joke? Do you have a? That's a poor excuse. It's the excuse I'm gonna use. I know a joke. Nathan Hawkins. But you have to be very smart to get that. And I am not even that smart. So, we're all a joke. Technically, you make your great grandma. I'll let them know. Thank you, Skonja. I would love to be an actual grandma. I live. That's my goal. That's what's keeping me alive. You know what? I am kind of procrastinating a little bit because I'm upset about the fact that Nathan is angry at Anastasia for being happy to be traveling. That was where we left off. Miss Auntie Cherry. Oh, that sounds cute though, doesn't it, Riku? I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Nathan is a joke. Oh, there's an ad in here. Stanley Cup. Are we allowed to do that? Where's my pen? Nah, I'm not gonna get upset. I'm just. It's funny. It's funny. It's not, but it's funny. There's no such thing. I just. Hey. You want to come up? Can you come up? Do men want to be called pretty? Is this is it? And that's not. I'm curious. Is that something that you? Because I know that some men are sensitive when you say they're cute. Apparently, that's not something that a lot of men like, which is interesting. What about pretty? Nathan has just been called pretty, which is on brand. You prefer being called ugly? I feel that. I'm scared. I feel that. Truly. Don't eat that. I know. I need to get it. Okay, that's it. Whew. I don't have any more in me. Sorry. You can join. You can just sit. That would be great. Yeah. I need to cut this. What are you doing, honey? What are you doing? Wait! Stanley Cup is a... Is that that a competition? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, no, I'm scared. That's a joke. No. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch you play now. I'm not. No, I can't watch. I can't wait to watch you play. Now, I'm not promising to switch teams, but you win the Stanley Cup and I might consider it, he joked. I thought it was the... How rich are those people? Because isn't also the Stanley knife? Tell your boyfriend if he says we've got beef that I'm a vegetarian and I ain't fucking scared of him. I don't know what song that is, but that is what you just triggered in my brain. Get cars, but we're talking about hockey. I thought it was the thing that you drink from. Oh my god. Is the Stanley family another family that is really too rich? We have like 5 different R's. Wait, the Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup isn't that the cup that people went. See if you Google it. Did I Google it? I did Google it. Shame on me. You get the thing that everyone was going berserk over. One of the biggest paradoxes of the century, because it was supposed to be a reusable cup. You take that with you everywhere, and then you can prevent the single-use cups a little bit, you know. And instead of having one cup to drink from, suddenly everyone needed the special editions that come out 72 times a month. So how much are you actually saving the environment if you buy a new Stanley Cup every other week? You know? See, it's a... Oh, I'm so confused. Kippy, just in time! I'm so confused. I thought Stanley Cup was just the drinking cup, but apparently it's also a game. What game is it? What are we talking about? Do you know? How are you doing? Stanley Cup is the trophy for the major hockey league in the USA and Canada. What? Is it the same though? Is the drinking cup from that? And is the Stanley knife also from that? Is this another huge family that I wasn't aware of that has a monopoly on a lot of things? Capitalism. Hey, that is my answer. You can't. No, I am. No, that I say that, KP. How dare you? Old mining the very source of the world was voted as misogyny. Look, see, Toulouse, I don't like it when you have all your hair everywhere. That's really not directly related. What do you mean? Have they done the tax evasion thing where they have mother and daughter businesses? Hey, that's an interesting thing, actually. Why do they do that? Why do they do that when it comes to companies? They call it daughter companies, right? Not son companies or father companies, right? See, you learn everything, something from everything. Even when you read something like this, you never know. You never know. So that's interesting. Nathan has just met the mother of Anastasia. Well, her parents, her adoptive parents, and her mother is apparently completely in love with Nathan. And this paragraph starts with she wants to know everything, how we met, how we got together, and I had to get creative with the truth. Unfortunately, it's impossible to talk about me and Nate without also talking about Aaron. So I'm assuming because it's off page, we're not getting to actually hear how she explains the stalking and the gaslighting and the cornering of it all, of how they started dating, which she didn't want. But they're gonna blame it all on Aaron. I never thought of that. The way they use feminine articles to connote relation when it comes to business, daughter and mother businesses. That's it. That is fascinating. I'm gonna put a pin in that thought because that is just curious. Nothing else. There's really no other thought. It's just, hey, interesting. Lord Stanley! Oh no! The Stanley Cup was commissioned by Lord Stanley from Canada in the late 1800s. It was originally for amateur ice hockey in Canada, but now it's the championship trophy for the NHL, which is the National Hockey League, the pro league of ice hockey with teams from Canada and the USA. So why was it mentioned? I don't even know. It's the first time it was mentioned, otherwise we would have had this talk sooner. Hi, White. Dang, really? When the air gaslighting ratio from a few weeks, we're still. Oh God, I'm so sorry, KP, but I had an unintentional hiatus. I lost the ability to speak for a bit. So unfortunately, we're that's why I need to read, man. we need to get over this. We need to stop it. Hold on, who is? I'm so sorry, KP. Here we go. Anastasia's POV. I just, you may have heard me say that the reason that she is now in a relationship with him, which apparently is official, I guess, which she didn't want with anyone because she wanted to go to the Olympics, but he cornered her, he stalked her, and he pressured and coerced her until she has now admitted that, okay, he is my boyfriend. And he has actively made fun of her training schedule that she needs to follow to go to the Olympics, which is pretty, you know, this is normal. If you have to go to the Olympics, that is your life now. You have to train. But doesn't matter what sport. But Nathan treats me with respect and with kindness, and he roots for me in every way, except that he has convinced her to not train for 2 weeks of the 8 that they had left, even though this guy, who has never done figure skating in his life, has offered himself as tribute so she can go to the regionals. So he needed those 8 weeks to become a professional Olympic grade figure skater. But he has convinced her that she doesn't need to train. But he is rooting for her. Is the smartest guy you'll ever meet, actually, because this is a how to abuse someone from 0 to 2000. My God. He's isolating her, or trying to. Hold on. What are we gonna do here? Because do we remember that? Why is Nathan leaving the country? I mean, I don't mind. I appreciate if he actually. He's leaving in the summer and moving to a different country. Since when? Did we know this? The question will be, do I keep this with all its annotations, or do I send this out into the world in the hopes that someone finds it and spreads the word? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Difficult. Do I get another copy? Make the same notes? It's amazing content. You have no idea, Umskat. Truly riveting. I'm just slightly nauseous, but that's apparently normal. Uh... Short-term gratification. Give up on the rest of your life. I know what you're doing, honey. I know. Excuse me, I have a question. I have a question. We're in Nathan's parental home, and they're rich, right? Because he's a nepo baby, obviously. And my question is, I'm gonna read the paragraph. It's not that much. She's getting a very quick. What's the word? Tour. She's gonna very quick because they need to bang. Okay, the house is empty, so they need to bang. But she's saying, I vaguely taken the tall ceilings and natural light, blah blah blah, all the things you're supposed to comment on when you're in a beautiful home. What I'm really thinking about is these big archways are making it super easy to not get tackled to the ground. What does that mean? Wow. What does that mean? I'm not rich. I don't think I've ever had arched anything. How does that help you to not get tackled to the ground? Does it make... Am I just too poor to understand that? Heaven? What do you say? Oh my god, give me! Thank you for the resub! Thank you so much for the resub! Oh my gosh, 6 months. I'm sorry. Clearly, I'm not out of this hell yet. I promise we'll be done at some point. And I will never touch this author again, ever. I hope. No one? We're all poor? It makes no sense, right? Is this a sign that it's AI? Millie! Hi, welcome back. Do you understand how, in a mansion, big archways in a house, in a mansion, how they prevent being tackled to the ground? How do archways correlate to not being tackled to the ground? I don't understand. But I might be poor. I don't know. Do you, Tangy? How are you doing? Welcome in. I don't know. Yeah. She's getting a tour of the mansion of Nathan's parents. Tackled in awe. You know what? I think there is a size where a house becomes indecent. I think that personally, if you can no longer keep your own house clean, then it probably is too big. So if you live with your entire family, say you live in a multi-generational home, of course it could be bigger, but there are more hands to help you keep said home clean. And I'm not saying I'm against people who clean homes, because there's people who genuinely love cleaning homes and would do it for free. But if there is a certain point where the size of a house becomes really indecent. If you need to make a phone call to find out where someone is in your house, I'm worried for you. That must be very lonely as well. I don't think that is very desirable. What do the RJs have to do with tempering expectations? I have no clue. This I feel like this is an AI sentence. Actually, this is one of the most clear AI sentences that I've ever read. I feel like they're trying to be cutesy. We used walkie-talkies. Oh my god, singing. That actually sounds like fun. But you don't need a big house for that, because I remember as a kid, as a 90s kid, I had those fake phones with my little sister. We had those fake phones that you could only call each other. So, you know, you don't need a big home for that. 2 baby doves, Daddy. Oh no, you have been blessed. You are going to have the most amazing life ever. Because the chances to see one baby dove is nil. You have 2? Oh my god. Start an Instagram. They're pretty big. What does it mean? Is it true anyway? They just spawn into reality, and there's no such thing as baby doves anyway, or Pidgeys. You remember them? I miss those. We should bring those back. The fake phones. Oh on. Hold on. Ugh. I mean, that's bad. No Christmas decorations? What the hell, man? Can we use them as walkie-talkies? You could train them! Danny! You can train them! Have actual Pidgey mail. Wouldn't that be great? I don't know how to do that. I have no clue how you would train a dove to do that. They just, right? I feel like doves and Pidgeys and they don't have babies. They just spawn. Why is his dad an asshole? He pays for everything! I'm not gonna underline any of that. I know. I also played with the two vases connected by a rope. I don't know why we believe that was working. We're just screaming or tins, just empty bean tins or something. We had so much fun as kids. Phones have ruined so many things. Imagination for one. I've done social media feeds and tutorials on how to walk talkies in learn no time. Aww. I would be hiding too. I mean, they're mythical. They're baby doves, baby pigeons are like unicorns of the bird world, I feel like. So, you truly have been blessed. Oh, this stupid bathtub. Zangi, what do you think? I want one now. I just don't have the room. I want a foldable bathtub. What the hell? They're so bad at making nests. It's really sad, but also adorable. But they're so bad at making. Thank you so much that you have a place for these little birdies to have their babies. I appreciate that more than I can express. That's adorable. When I was a kid, I thought that there were actual people in the radio. I think it was a saying, some kind of Dutch saying. I'm not sure if it's also translatable to English, but I think there was a saying that made me believe that there were actual people in our sound system. We had quite a big one, but I just thought there were like dwarfs, I guess, because we also have in a lot of forests, forests in the Netherlands, we have these hiking paths, especially made for children, that have what are they called? Actually, kabouters? Het kabouterpad? Mannetje van de radio! That's where I got it, probably. Autistic people. I really don't know why people didn't clock that I was so freaking autistic in every sense. I thought there were tiny people in my radio. Because we have a saying in the Netherlands that is the little guy of the radio. No, I don't know. I really don't know how I figured it out, how it made sense, but I just figured they came to the radio to play music. And I don't think I had a fully formed theory of how they came to be inside of it and how they left. I just thought they were in there. It's quite cute. I don't know. but they were not prisoners. No. That would be too much. And sad. I would probably have tried to broken them out if I had thought that. No. Oh, I'm gonna puke. Nathan wants to say he loves her. How old? Before I was 8. But a long time. A long time. I was deep in my 20s when I realized that taking your pet to the farm is not what you think it is as a kid. I was deep in my 20s, and it was an actual shock. It took a moment for me to get over that. I truly did not know what had happened to one of our pets. And I think I was 26 or something, and that happened when I was, 10? Not even 9? When we had a pet that was sent to the farm? My God. No, they do. They get to play in like meadows with the flowers and butterflies, and they're friends with all the kitties. And they have a good time. It's always golden hour at the farm. Yeah? Files were jail material? What they did not exist. I was in the center of a huge city, and chickens had no feathers. Oh, flies were... When we moved to the city from the country, I met a lot of city kids who had never left the city. So this is really sad, actually. I want you to know that I understand that these kids were extraordinarily poor. So their parents had no time nor money to go outside and see the world a little bit. They didn't go to vacations, nothing. And in high school, a surprising amount of the kids didn't realize that milk is milk, and chocolate milk does not come from brown cows. That's another product. It would shock you how many high school kids actually didn't understand how that works. Yeah, brown cows. A lot of kids thought brown cows. And I was the one who was bullied. Can you imagine? I used to think that California was an island and everyone loved or lived on it. Both would be accurate, I feel like, Ippy. Brown cows with dress. Or that you could eat the sausage looking things that live next to water because of cartoons. I thought you could eat those because the cartoons used to, roast them over fire. Don't do that. Don't try it. You will regret it with your every fiber of your being. Don't do it. What are they called? They look like sausages. They live. You've made it so far. It's the heat. Just blame the heat. Or are you at the office? Just blame the chickens. It's okay. I do too. Oh no! Am I making dangerous gestures? I'm scared. I'll just hold my book. What did I do? I didn't mean it. I didn't know. I'll just go back to Nathan. Office day yesterday. The first day back, you had office day? Wait, what did I do? Oh, the plans. I'm scared now. I don't want to be cancelled. Please don't cancel me. I thought that shrimps were grasshoppers that got used to the water. That is adorable, Brushoy. I kind of love that. Liz daughter. The cattails? Never seen cattail. That sounds more familiar than whatever that is. But that makes sense. I've been getting ads that start out with a sentence along the lines of learning Dutch is really hard, but we can help you. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I am Dutch. What do you mean? But my phone has been bugging me with lessons in Dutch. That's really funny, but also I'm so offended. What do you mean? I have never had an ad trying to convince me that my English needs to be improved. But I'm being bullied about my Dutch. It's incredible. This is empty. I don't know what to do about it. About that. Something with sausage. Oh no! No! I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. It's dangerous to talk about sausage when we're talking about Nathan, because Nathan would love to talk about sausage. I imagine. Exactly, Brashoy. What do you mean? Learn Dutch. I know Dutch. I am Dutch. And it's getting really bad because people in the Netherlands also assume often that I'm not Dutch. They'll ask me, where are you from? Like, from here. What do you mean? A wiener sausage? Who? Nathan? Wiener sausage plans? Nathan is very insecure. Otherwise, why are you treating women like this? So, let's not shame him, because it's not about the size, it's about what you do with it. But I have a feeling that he doesn't know how to surely deduces it from your activity on your phone. Yeah, but I've always had my phone on English. I have always spoken predominantly in English. I lived in the UK for quite some time. Never once did I get ads for learning more Dutch or English or any language really. Ads for learning a language, sure, but never specifically Dutch or any other language. It's fascinating. Yeah, I've always had that since I was a kid because it was just easier to find help if I needed it. So that's weird. I haven't changed anything. But I haven't really talked in Dutch at all for a long time now. So maybe assume that I changed something. I don't know how to articulate that. I can help you with your Dutch, Sherry, as much as I need to be ashamed. I do admit that my Dutch is horrible. Horrible. Grammar makes me cry. Literally. It looks like you're trying to speak Dutch. Would you like some tips? That's exactly how the ads go. Like, it's okay. Don't worry. We got you. And I'm just sitting here like... Since when? But no, my Dutch is worse than my English, and it has been for a long, long time. Because Dutch is hard. We don't have rules in our language. We like to pretend we do, but we just have exceptions. And that makes me very upset. And I cannot get over that. It's not a rule. Stop calling it a rule. So there my problems start when I try to learn the grammar behind my own mother tongue. I get stuck on the rules. And I want explanations for who came up with this. And why does it make sense to anyone but me? Because it makes no sense. English makes a lot more sense to me. It's not perfect, but it makes a lot more sense. What are we doing? Wait, so see, they didn't agree. Yeah, we do, Brashoy. And I didn't know this either. But I learned that when I was, I had my German phase, that they dub everything. They did dub Dragon Ball Z. Or, no, I should say they didn't have the original Dragon Ball Z. They had the dubbed version, and that is how I learned English. It just, yeah, no, see, and again, being autistic, I could not accept that in school. And I had so many fights and literal tears in my Dutch classes because no, 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 I won't accept this. I explain. That's not gonna work for me. It is for sure, especially because you're not actually trying. You're just soaking it up. Being a kid is a superpower, and if I could do it again, I would also watch something in French and in Japanese probably, and Swedish. No, Swedish is fine. I can learn Swedish as I get older. It's not that hard. It is, I know. So don't call it a rule. Just say, okay, this is Dutch. We have a whole lot of exceptions, and then I can agree. But the fact that they call it a rule and then they have like a whole book of exceptions, that just gets me. No, you don't understand the word rule. We need to figure that out because if we start off on the wrong foot, we get Dutch. You went to academies as a kid, but really learned with the Erasmus people and later on at companies. I don't understand what you mean. Are you a savant? Is that what you're saying? If that is so, share your knowledge, please. We need it. The world is in dire need of more actual knowledge. With English? What kind of academies did you go? I'm fascinated. Oh, really? Interesting. Oh, not good though. It's interesting, but why? That's sad. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'll be right back. Hold on. I need to water my cat because she doesn't know how to drink on her own. I'll be right back. Give me a moment. I'm back. Of course, my orange cat needed water too. He doesn't. He knows how to drink himself, but he grew up watching Toulouse getting water with a syringe, and now he believes that he needs that too to survive. So, and also it was getting too bright on that side, so I had to close it. The color 80s vibe. Do I need to close it down again? I can do that. I would love to. I don't like this at all. I don't like overhead light, but sometimes I need. Logic in language is always helping a lot, but I have a much harder time finding that in English than in Spanish. The roots of those languages are different. I feel like I've tried to learn a few languages, so I have a little bit of a few languages, and it does seem like if you know a language from one branch, it is a lot easier to learn languages that grow from or through the same branch than it is to skip a branch. Look up the tree of languages or something. That will show you what I mean. We're not gonna bully each other, okay? No. No. Because I'm really too tired. The roots are key. You can read Portuguese, French, and Italian. Understand the main thing. Well, I never understood. Yeah, see, that makes a lot of sense. Because I tried to learn Italian, and I had a little bit of Latin, and I could feel how my brain was pulling at the Latin a little bit. Don't ask me why. I'm just. There was no reason why I was learning any of this aside from curiosity. But I didn't feel any attachment to the other languages that I knew, and that was Dutch and German. It's really interesting to feel that in your brain. I'm not sure if that's a common thing, but I can feel that in my brain. Don't remember a thing. It's not really useful if you don't become a doctor or anything, I feel like. But it's such a, I don't know, it's beautiful. Figure out a lot of English, German, and Nordic languages just by comparing it. Yeah, Swedish, it feels like I have a cheat code built in my brain by knowing and speaking Dutch when I am learning Swedish. Doesn't always make sense, but it kind of feels like a cheat. It isn't. I know. I'm learning French to read comments work in French. I'm afraid it's been rough, guys. Apparently Duolingo isn't enough to start. No, Duolingo, I was using Duolingo as well, and I think Duolingo is amazing. Please know, though, that they have fired and are continuing to fire humans in preference for AI, so I stopped using Duolingo for that reason. But Duolingo is supposed to be your stepping stone, and then you have to practice, and I would say that goes for any language you're trying to learn through an app. You have to watch movies, you have to listen to music, you have to talk with people. I would, if I were you, try to translate very easy stories yourself and then see how it lives up to an actual translation. Duolingo is a great free way to start, but it really won't make you fluent. No. But I was learning Latin just because I don't know. But I was learning Italian because I wanted to read Dante in its original, which is so stupidly ambitious. I really don't know what happens in my brain, but it's interesting in there, isn't it? I think we have a minute left. We have 1 minute left before the Susan starts to yell. Usually AI replacement. Yeah, happy the companies are rehiring now, many seeing the light after a harsh experience. If anyone hears about Duolingo deciding to, use humans to work on language, which is there really aren't a lot of things that are more human than language. But if you hear news about them trying to fix what they broke, please let me know, because I do miss it. I was so in love with that app. I did it whenever I could. I woke up with Duolingo. I went to sleep with Duolingo. I did Duolingo in the bathroom. But yeah, I stopped using it. Yeah, watch children's programs. Read children's books. Listen, in case anyone feels silly with that thought or has been talked down to with that idea, you understand this is how you learn language, right? This is how you learn your own language as a kid as well. You watch children's programs. You read low-level books that are appropriate for your skill. So these are actually the things you should be doing. What kids do to learn a language is what you should do as an adult to learn a language as well. There's really no difference. I hate when companies stuff AI into their product when it was perfectly fine. Well, Camus, I do feel like there is a place for AI, and AI is going to be so beneficial. AI could propel the human species into a future that was promised to us back when Back to the Future was first released. But instead, we are unfortunately seeing that it's being abused. It's being abused to cut corners, to save money, and in the process, we're quite literally killing humans. It makes no sense. Hi, Zulev. How are you doing? But there are limits, and these can be different for everyone. I have a different set of rules and hard nose than you have. Even if we have the exact same morals, that doesn't mean we have the same opportunities. So for me, for example, it was uncomfortable, but certainly not impossible to move myself away from using Spotify. The moment I learned that all the money that I had been paying them has gone to investing in the development of drones to murder people, that's a hard no for me, and I am able to do that. I am able to just say, yo, cancel. I don't care what kind of what is it called, discount you're offering me, and they are trying to get me back. But I just stopped my Spotify, and I'm now using Deezer, and I'm praying that I can keep using that for now, because it was an adjustment. It's annoying because a lot of people, like if you're listening to a stream or something, they have playlists on Spotify. Everyone is on Spotify. There's such a monopoly still in that regard. But because I don't use it for work, like a lot of streamers, for example, use it for their stream, I get it if you can't move away from something like that. But I had that option, so I stopped using Spotify, and I am now using Deezer. And when it came to Duolingo, I'm very sad that I haven't been able to get as addicted to another language learning app as I was to Duolingo, because they did a really good job. Even though there are some places of the gamification that I don't like, namely pitting users against each other, the leaderboards, I feel like they just don't really, I don't really agree with that. It might actually be damaging for people who struggle with language and be demotivating in the end. But the way they kind of get you addicted to the game of learning the language was quite genius, so I do miss it.
But when I learned that they were going to fire, I don't remember how many people, but basically all of them. And it didn't really matter because they were going to remove humans that were actually part of the language part of the app. It wasn't to streamline something. No, they were going to and have fired people for an app that is supposed to teach you human things. Language changes on a daily basis. It's so fluid. It's you can't do that. You can't put something like language. I mean, you can do it, but I would not recommend it. Oh, I'm forgetting to turn off the shield. And if you use AI as I understand it, it will become an echo chamber, but a very ugly one. And I feel it already is. But with language, they really messed up there. There we go. Is it done yet? I'm not sure. I feel like we don't have the full potential of AI. I feel like we are always at least a few years, if not decades, behind on what they are actually capable of doing. I mean, think of when the first computer was invented and when they became available for the general public. That I know that things generally move quite a lot faster these days, but still, right? I was never on Spotify. Didn't need to quit it. Good, Millie, because I feel so bad. I feel so bad still about that development. It makes me feel sick. Actually makes me feel sick. How dare you? How dare you use that money that people paid to listen to music to murder people? If they had put it in the music industry, that would have been fine. That would have been great. That's needed, right? Aren't the arts struggling? What the hell are you thinking, stupid CEO? No. So I can't. And for me, in my privileged position, I have options. This is even if I didn't have an option. Actually, I would have just tried to wean myself off of using something like Spotify at all. Because it does work. It does work. If enough of us are able to boycott enough places, it will eventually have an effect. I know we can't do everything. It's literally impossible to do everything, but we can and should do whatever we are able to and are comfortable with, right? As the moment we start forcing people to do things they don't want to do, that's when you start to go down a road that you don't really want to go down, especially if it comes from a place where you think you're making the world a better place. Are you, when you're using the same tactics that you are claiming to be against? Don't do that. Leave people the freedom to choose. At the end of the day, it's their own responsibility. And punishing people or talking down on them or trying to shame them is really not going to motivate anyone to be a better person. Does it work for you? Do you remember, or did you ever get the sentence, "Oh, so you do know how to clean," as a teenager when you had a good day? Did that make you feel better? No, it didn't. And it won't do that here anyway, either. It doesn't work like that. Can I still stop doing it wait, it's done it? I believe the companies will stop doing it to justify things for investors once they realize that they need the same number of humans or more just multiplying production, especially as the cost of tokens are going to go really get really expensive once the VC money flies already started. I really don't know enough, and I feel like I should know more now you're saying that. And I am working on Twitch, which is owned by Amazon, which is, but this is the place where I have decided to, regardless, try and make the world a better place. And I always say that if you disappear, right? If you're a regular here in chat and you disappear, I'm going to assume that you're living your best life. Never come back and apologize. I am assuming that you are living your best life. I'm assuming that either that is a good thing, as in you're happy, or you're just living your own life, period. This has nothing to do with me, right? But I'm going to assume that you are doing what is best for you. You should never feel guilty to me or any other online creator for not helping them in their view count or whatever. I will never tell you that you are less worthy than someone who is subscribed. I am doing everything I can to not lean on ads, because that's going to come. I really don't have a lot of choice when it comes to YouTube. So we have to choose our own, pick and choose our own battles, right? And I think at the end of the day, if there is at least some effort of all of us to make the world a better place, if we all at least try to choose the least damaging option, we will get there. It's humanly impossible to do all the things, okay, for lots of reasons, but we don't need a reason. We need to survive first. Otherwise, no one has any benefit from our existence, because we won't exist, okay? I have a question I'd like to ask the chat. I will also access in Discord if I need to. Please do. That might be a little bit more handy, because I'm going to crash. I'm going to crash in a little bit. The weird and horrific thing is the what? Danny. See, I love that. I love that you're doing that. Thank you so much. Please say thank you to Danny. That's way too generous. But please know that if you're not able to do that, you are not less than Danny. You're equal here, okay? I wish we could do without money, but here we are. And thank you. Thank you so much. No, I'm flustered. God dang it, Danny. I've always believed that if I am able to see and hope and work towards a better world, then there is hope. Because I'm not special. I'm just like you. And if I can do it, you can do it too. Maybe you just haven't had the opportunity. I don't know. But I'm assuming that I'm not alone. Because I refuse to. I refuse to. It's an even number? What kind of even number? Oh, how many did you get? Do I want to know? I'm scared. 55! In the last 3 months? Danny! I'm scared. Thank you. You're great. You're all less than me. No! No! Everyone, I mean, me too. I'm a pauper. More than you probably think when you see me sitting here. Trust me, the power of a little bit of makeup would astonish you. This, if I can enslave a software that I don't have to command a human. Well, it's just like you said before, capitalism. It's just capitalism. Companies are not really interested in taking care of their humans. And I feel the same about companies as I do about homes. If it becomes too big to take care of it, then maybe the growth part should stop. Maybe you should work on quality and actually cultivating a company that you're proud of because of what is on the inside, not what you put out. I think if you stop being able to name the people that are physically giving you life, So you have a product. If you stop knowing their names, I'm not sure if the output is worth what those humans are giving you anymore. Does this make sense? The current architectures aren't really what we consider human intelligence. One of the papers I was reading termed them as statistical parrots because they are essentially a next word predictor. Yeah, that sounds about right. What's even more frustrating is that other than a few researchers, most of them are focused on scaling the architecture. No, I'm not going to say pessimistic things. I'm not going to say pessimistic. I'm inclined to put my faith in how we have seen the music industry and are now witnessing, curiously, way after ebooks came out. Because when the ebooks first came out, people worried about the destruction of the book industry. But weirdly enough, only now do I feel the book industry is actually in danger. It wasn't ebooks. It was always capitalism, because they found out how to make people buy books, more books. I'm not gonna go into it right now, but I know this was an active thing they did. But they tried to recruit me to write bestsellers. But that's a story for another day. But what I'm trying to say is, I am hanging my faith on this. Is that we're just in the trenches right now when it comes to AI. We saw a very scary period with music, but it's been slow. But even as we were in the trenches of that moment, when Spotify first came out and physical CDs, the sale of physical CDs went down, all that stuff, and people said that the music was going to die. I know that is also looking a bit scary at the moment, but look at how people started to collect physical copies of things again. And when it comes to books as well, it really doesn't matter what they try to do. Those who have a true love for music and books will keep the core of it alive. And it may look a little bit dark and a little bit dire, but let's remember that music and books have been around for a whole lot longer than capitalism. So it's going to be okay. As long as you are able to hold on to it, as long as you are able to live with the values that you feel are important, and please don't hurt yourself and others. I hope that's a given with everything I say, but let's just add it just to make sure that you understand. It is alive and there is a future. Because if I am not special, you are not special, that makes us actually special, and we are keeping things alive, right? I hope that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense. This is how I kept myself alive in the darkest of times in my teenage years. I decided that I am going to be kind. And if I can be kind, there are other people out there, even if I don't know any of them at the moment. Thank you for the hydrate, Kippy. I'm gonna take another sip. The heat is killing you. Blue lavender. I have heard that drinking tea is better than drinking something cold. A cloth to your neck. Keep your hands a little bit under a cold water. Your wrists. Even better if you can make your face wet, because that will trigger something in your brain. I'm not sure what it's called. And even better if you can put your feet in a bucket of water. But I am so sorry that it's killing you. It's don't be angry at yourself, okay? The heat is really not normal for what we are used to, and being frustrated with yourself is really unfair. Don't do that, okay? I know it's easier said than done, but I am telling you, you're not allowed. Okay? You're not allowed to be frustrated with yourself. You're doing great. You're in uni. Oh my god, it's so amazing. I still can't believe it. I love it. Just because with Gen A appears. I didn't read it. I'm gonna be honest about that. I saw an article about, and if you know where it is, and if you could share it in Discord, that would be great because I do want to read it. I just couldn't. Doesn't matter. That Kobo has rejected and will continue to reject every AI submitted book. Apparently they have an amazing thing that checks if it's AI, and they do reject it. It's a bit horrific to think that physical media might become a tangible and precious commodity, not just due to its rarity, but through its controversy. In 2028, they want to stop making physical copies of games, I've heard. So let's start protesting. And how do we do that? By buying the physical things. Show them that we're not interested in digital things. They've already gone too far. They've already gone way too far. We've let them get away with so many things that we should never have. But there's still time, okay? There's still time. I still have a library of music CDs and MP3 files that I listen to. My collection of vinyl LPs is within these. Oh, I love that, Blue. I love that. Water spray for full body combined with a fan makes wonder for a moment with a broken XC. Yeah, a little bit of a spray bottle. Can help. This is true. Okay. Don't be frustrated with yourself, Blue Lavender, okay? This is out of your control. I remember the times there was no internet games where in a tapes inside a box. Yeah, you had maps and you had special things in there and just goodies and I don't know. Okay. It was good to see you, Blue Lavender. I hope to see you again. Yeah, if you have your feet in a bucket of water, I don't do that when I'm working with electronics because I'm terrified. But a cloth that you regularly put under cold water in your neck can help as well. Some people own the industry for you. Yeah, they really do. So support your art. Support your artists. If you are a fan of like a painter or something, try to understand that supporting them doesn't always mean that you buy something that you would actually hang up, but sometimes it means buying it so you get a bonus for helping them stay alive, right? Because the companies are not gonna do it for us. They're really not gonna. Go to concerts, yeah, and you'll meet people that are like-minded. There is something about well, festivals are a little bit different for me. They're very overwhelming. But if you go to an artist, in a particular artist, there's something about the energy when everyone just is there in the moment. And I really wish that more people would just put away their phones. But I've been to a few concerts in my life, and there's nothing compared to that connection to the artist and to the people. You meet like-minded people, and I would recommend going sooner so you can just stand in line like a teenager and have fun together. It's great. Go places, okay? Go places. It's not lost until you give up. So don't give up. Refuse. And just so you know, you don't need hope to keep going, okay? Let me tell you, the amount of times that I had no hope at all, just keep showing up. Keep doing the things that you do believe in will make a difference as long as you keep going. Should just keep going, okay? Happy Monday! Oh, happy day after Monday! Come out here! Oh my god! I thought, are you okay? You need water. Yeah, I need to go, Blue Lavender. I know. It's shorter because I just came back from a bit of a sketchy moment. But I'll be back tomorrow. And every day of the week, aside from Thursday, I am forcing myself to take a day off because we are still in the readathon. I am making no progress at all. I think I read 20 pages. Thank you for all the talks. I do enjoy being able to vent. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here and listening to me, offering your perspectives. Please know that I always want to hear your perspective, even and especially if they don't line up with mine. Being challenged, even if I don't necessarily immediately vibe with it, I might have an adverse reaction. That should be okay. That is part of the human experience. We can't always agree with each other. And sometimes what you have to say is a little bit upsetting. Doesn't mean that it shouldn't be said. It just means that you do need to allow the person to process and have that response. It doesn't have to be personal. So I hope you know that. But more than that, I hope you know that you are so incredibly important. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for staying. Thank you for deciding to not give up. Even when you really desperately want to, you are important. And I love you. So thank you for being here. And I hope to see you soon, okay? Look at the schedule to see what it means when I say I'll be back. That is also where I will be most likely letting you know if I can't or if the time changes, all right? If you're in doubt, look at the schedule here on Twitch. And with that being said, let's take one last sip of water or whatever you're hydrating yourself with. Good. And I hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye.